Hello everyone, how's it going? I am the Average Guy 1983. Thank you very much for joining me on this video today. In today's video, I wanted to show you guys how to put these slat boards onto a concrete wall because Flowwall does indeed have a YouTube channel of their own showing you guys what you have to do. And it does, give you an idea of what you have to do to put these up. They don't tell you how to put these up on a concrete wall. What they show you is a perfect world scenario where you have a really nice large size garage with really big walls, and the walls are made out of drywall with no sheetrock behind them. And behind the drywall, you have these perfectly aligned 16-inch to 24-inch studs. And though they supply you with the screws to be able to mount these together, they're not ideal for something like a concrete wall. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to put these up because I feel like if you are like me and you have a very small basement, like for example, my basement that I'm turning into a little DIY fab kitchen for car audio stuff and, regular home repair stuff, it is only 12 feet wide by 10.5 inches long from the corner of this wall to the edge where I'm standing at. So it's not that big, and even the height from where my lights are at from the ground up, it's only 84 inches, so it's not that big. So I needed something that would help me be able to organize my tools and templates from Mobile Solutions basically in the most efficient way possible. And I found that these plastic boards from Flowwall, which are slat boards, are the perfect choice for this type of environment that does tend to get a little warm here sometimes, and sometimes it gets too cold. So since this isn't a 100% temperature controlled environment, these are ideal for this versus the wood ones that would deteriorate over time with weather changes. So with that said, let me go ahead and put all of this down, show you guys what tools you're going to need to get started to put this together. So let's go to that now. One of the things you're going to want to do, like you see these markings here, is you're going to want to make sure that you use some kind of a grinding tool or a grinder specifically so that you can remove all the imperfections that are on this concrete wall to make sure that you have your slat board on a flat surface. And you can see here that there is a bump right there. In order for me to make it look flush like this, I'm going to have to grind that down off camera. But I just wanted to show you that before we start installing these slat boards. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so let's go ahead and start with the first thing you're going to need for this project. And this is very, very, very important, and that is having drop-in anchors. Depending on what you're putting on, you can use a bigger size, but this was the smallest size I can find, which was 1/4 of an inch, and it's the one that I recommend for this flow wall setup. Ideally, what you do with these is you cut a hole using a 3/8 of an inch masonry bit with a rotary hammer drill. You really need to make sure that you use a rotary hammer drill. You can use a regular drill that has a hammer drill part, but it's not going to work as good or as strong to make the hole go through. So here is the bit here we go, and this is the drop-in anchor. And how this works is these little slots you see here, these are like legs, they spread apart inside of the hole that you make on the concrete wall. And what you do is you use something called a setting bit, which is one of these, which is sold separately. It goes inside of the hole and you hammer it in. Once you hammer it in, these legs up here will expand inside of the concrete wall and it will be a permanent setup. And then all you have to do is just use your screw of choice, which are these here. These are 1/4 inch by 20. This one is the 1/2 inch one. The 1/4 inch drop-in anchor can only accept up to a 1/2 inch amount of screw material onto the bit. So, just keep that in mind. So if you're going to use the product and the product that's going to be in front of this bit here is going to be 1/4 of an inch, then you need to compensate for that 1/4 of an inch by using a different larger size screw. In this case, I'm going to be using 3/4 inch screws. I'm going to be mounting this into the concrete wall, like I said earlier. So this is 1/4 inch and it's 1 inch long. You usually want to put about 1 inch and 1/8 of a hole to have this flush against the wall or slightly inside of the wall so that it can have a nice grab, and then you can use your screws of choice. The other tool you're going to need to use is going to be one of these rotary hammer drills. And again, you're going to need a 3/8 inch masonry bit to be able to make the hole on the concrete wall. This is very important. You can use a regular power drill that has the hammer drill functionality, but it's not going to work as good as a legit one. So make sure you get yourself something decent. I'll put a link in the description for this as well, so you know what you're gonna need. These little sleeves here that are in this plastic bag, these are the little covers that go on the edges of the panel. I would highly recommend you install these right away onto the edges. So here we go. Now these ones have these little pins right there. You can kind of see them there, and those have to go connected to the edges of that. I'm gonna go ahead and plug that in now by moving my camera just a little bit further back because of this 4K 60 crop, and then go ahead and plug this in. Okay, now we repeat this on the opposite side so that you can get the most accurate measurement count. Now this is about 48 7/8 of an inch, so almost 49 inches. I would just go ahead and go with 49 so that you can put 24.5 mark right in the middle. You're going to need a silver Sharpie, and you're going to need a 1/4 inch drill bit with your drill, a measuring tape. So let's go ahead and get the measuring tape and start measuring this up. So since we're at 49, we want to do 24.5 right around there. Oops, made it a little too big. It's okay, that's going to get covered by the screw. Well, there you go. It's not supposed to be an X mark, it's supposed to be a dot. But you kind of get the idea. Now on the opposite side, we want to put a 2-inch mark right on the edge. So you guys can see right there. There it is. It looks farther, but it's not. It actually is at the 2-inch mark. There's a groove in the middle where the center of the screw should go, and that's where you want to mark it, just like that. Alrighty, I'm going to repeat the same steps now on the bottom. So we need the 24.5 inch mark. There we go. And over here we need the 2-inch mark. There we go. And then repeat the same thing over here with another 2-inch mark. There we go. Next thing we got to do is use the power drill with the 1/4 inch bit, and we're going to go ahead and start cutting right in the center. So here we go. Alrighty, there you go. And we just want to make sure that any markings that are in the back, like your little stubby areas, you just clean it off, and we're good to go on this. Okay, so now what we have to do is we have to come over here to the wall, grab this slat board, and I'm going to go ahead and put it up. Make sure that you don't put it crooked. There's this little L-shaped curve that goes upwards. That's what needs to go up. And you can tell by this little area here, this little top lip area, this small, that goes up, and the thicker lip part goes down. Okay, we expanded this. Now we can go ahead and climb up and measure this right where I want to have it at, and make sure that it's leveled from the center. Once you have the screw on in the center, you'll be able to make your marks right where you want to have it at. I want it right around here. Okay, somewhere not too close to the thing, but not too close to the edge either. Okay, it's a little tricky, man. But once you aim it there, hold on to it from the middle like this. Grab your leveling tool, put it right in the center of the hole, and then make sure that it's leveled. Now, I apologize if you can't really see it, but I have it, hold on, it's a little too off. Right around there. Okay, now what I'm gonna do with the Sharpie, I'm gonna mark the center. There we go. And I can go ahead and take this down. Now, drilling into a higher area where you don't have good stability, it's a little difficult to do. What I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna go ahead and lower the audio of the microphone in post so you guys don't hear this loud noise like too hard. And I'm gonna go ahead and drill into this hole. And I want you guys to see how I'm gonna do it, so hopefully you guys can see me. I'm gonna hold on to my ladder here, and I'm gonna use my right arm to start drilling straight. Start off slow and work your way up. Alrighty, there's one hole. What we want to do next is clear out that hole with the vacuum. Okay, and now what we want to do is we want to grab our little bit here, which you guys kind of see, sorry about that, and we're going to insert it here and see if it fits nice and flush. And it does. So since we know it does, we can go ahead and grab the setting tool and the hammer. We're gonna come up here and we're going to go ahead and hammer this into its place. And now it's done. That hole that you see up there with the drop-in anchor is no longer going to move from there. And now you can go ahead and put that piece of plastic on. So let's go to that. Okay, so because this screw is too big to go into here, I have to pre-install the screw first. There you go. And now I can go ahead and put it up there, and then I can go ahead and draw out the other holes once this is on. So let me go ahead and do that now. There you go. Now I don't want to over tighten it because I still need to put it up there. But you see, that's all you have to do, guys. The only thing I need to do is now level it again right in front of the screw. Right there, that is now leveled. And I can go ahead and finish tightening up the screw while still holding on to this. But remember, do not over torque the screw because you could break the plastic hole here. You see, this part right here is thinner than this part here. So now that that's leveled, I can go ahead off camera, mark the other holes with the Sharpie and repeat the same thing. Alrighty, here we go. Aim in the middle, start slowly, work your way with faster speed. Yeah, that shit ain't going nowhere. Okay, so we done that. You kind of get the idea now. I'll give you guys a close-up on the second panel that I'm about to put up, but let me go ahead and first put up this panel. All right, my friends, so the hardest part is now over. Trying to get this to stay aligned was a little bit difficult, but if you guys can kind of see up there, that thing is straight. So now what we're going to do is we're going to focus on the bottom now here and try to get that to install. And we're going to do the same exact thing. Grab a nice Sharpie that has a good point and install this here. Since these ones already have the holes, you can kind of see them. We just align this to be just like this. And on this one, it also helps. There's a little lever hook there that goes in so it can lock into place here and lock into place there so it stays straight. And now that this is straight here, we can go ahead and mark down our little pins. Do the same thing here and the same thing here, and now over here as well. Perfect. Okay, you see this dot right here? This is what we're going to be drilling right now, just so you guys can see how I'm going to do it. Anywhere between 1 inch to 1 1/8 inches, it's perfect. You have to align the tip of the drill bit here right in the middle, and what you have to do is aim straight, just like that. And here we go. Now it did move a bit just now. So let me go ahead, grab the vacuum, clean that up, and we should still be able to put it in there. And there's always ways to compensate for the hole if it's misaligned. Just cut into the plastic a little tiny bit more, and then you can aim it. Now we're gonna go ahead and grab the Hilti branded drop-in anchor, put it here, slide it in. That's 1 inch and 1/8 in. Now we can go ahead and hammer it on, just like this. There we go. That hole right there is not gonna go anywhere. And now I can go ahead and finish off the rest. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, so we've concluded the video on how to install these pegboards or slat boards into this concrete wall. Now, the hole that I have right here, this stupid thing, man, there's this plastic thing that moves around, and it's supposed to keep this thing leveled so that this bit doesn't go in too deep into the concrete wall. Well, unfortunately, this damn thing slipped in further down, and I ended up drilling a hole 1.25 inches too deep. I needed just no more than 1 inch or 1 inch and 1/8 to be fair, but it went in about 1 inch and 1/4 or maybe slightly more too deep. So the 3/4 inch screws that I have, it's not gripping on because it doesn't fit. So I have to basically get pretty much either a 1 inch screw or 1 inch and 1/4 screw. So now I'm gonna have to go to Home Depot, go get that screw and just put it on there and see which one fits, the 1 inch or the 1 inch and 1/4. And at least this will be done. What I want to put next is going to be these made out of metal, and what I want to do is basically put them here. Now this is a 16 by 16, so I like to put it as close as I can to this to give it support and leave it like this. Put another one down here that's going to go about this much lower, and then from here to about this side here. And this is going to be like perfect for putting my Dremel stuff and other small maybe drill bits, or all of my blades for my Dremel that I have. I can actually hang them here, and other smaller screwdrivers that don't fit in drawers. So I'm not sure about making a video on this one because it's very similar to what I did here. You just make a hole in the screw size that's required for this one, and then you just put the screws in, and that's it. This one was just a little bit extra work versus the one here. So I don't know if I'm gonna, you know, do this one here or not, but I figured this was the main one. Now I can go ahead and transfer pretty much all of my DeWalt stuff into this area here like this, and then go ahead and for example, put my power drill where this was at originally. So just have it there, and I can put all of my DeWalt gear right here on this wall, whatever I can fit, because I have a lot of DeWalt stuff. And then over here, my Dremel stuff, and on this side over here, which I'll show you now, all of my Mobile Solutions templates. This wall that you see here, this one right here, is going to have the same pegboard system, but I have to cut it down to size just to make sure that the edge of that trim that you see here on this side fits right at this edge, and it goes sunk in, so I can put my other templates on this side. But that will be concluding this part of the video. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video that I did here. If you have any questions about this, please let me know. The tools, including the bits and stuff that I used to make this happen, including these slat boards here, I will put in the description in this video. So anyways, now that we're at the end, you can go ahead and click out of the video here if you want. You don't have to stay any further. The rest of the video that I'm doing here is going to be specifically for my subscribers who are actually interested in hearing channel news. So I had mentioned before that I had purchased or ordered a 8-foot table from the Husky brand from Home Depot, as well as a 109-inch cabinet system from the Husky brand as well from Home Depot. Well, something ended up happening where they ended up canceling my order, even though I was paying money into the card that I was using. And they wanted me to place the order again, but this time the price went up. It went up by $125 on the 8-foot table, and the cabinet system went from $1,275 to $2,100 or $2,200. That's just way too much. That's like $825 more than what it was just a couple months ago. So I went ahead and decided to just hold off. I feel like I should wait till maybe Black Friday and see if I can get the cabinet system for like 1,500-ish or so, less than 16. Then I'll go ahead and consider buying it. But for right now, I had to basically improvise and order a 6-foot table instead from the Husky brand, and this one was cheaper than the original one at the 6-foot size as well. And it comes with like a 3 or 4 outlet connected to it and 2 USB ports, which is pretty cool. The 8-foot table that I was looking at didn't have that option, so I guess I'm saving more by getting a slightly smaller desk or workbench, and also the outlets to compensate for the difference, because what I wanted to do with that 8-foot was to install a GSM router lift too. I had gotten this kit from Mobile Solutions with this so that I can make my own router table out of that 8-foot table and install the GSM router lift 2 onto it. But it seems like I can't make it happen, so I decided to go ahead and play it more safe. I bought the GSM router lift 2, but I also bought the GSM router lift tabletop. So what I'm waiting for now is to save up a little bit more money and then get the legs where the tabletop has to go applied to, and that should be pretty much like 8 foot or so, 8.5 feet from length, from the edge of the table all the way to this edge here by the door. This way I can have like a trash can on this side, or even my electric vacuum hose connected to the router area, so whenever I'm doing anything with plastic or acrylic or with wood, all that, you know, debris gets picked up by the vacuum hose. And I can also like open the door, have a fan on, and have the air, you know, the basement airing out. So again guys, just please keep bearing with me again, because like, you know, I said, this is a self-funded channel. My regular job income that also supports my wife and my kids pays for all this crap. So yeah, just bear with me. I know I said on the previous video that I was happy to be able to qualify to start monetizing, but I do not want to monetize as of yet. I want to wait to get a higher subscriber count, because I was told by YouTube that if I go below 1,000, like 999 subscribers, just say I have 1,050 right now, if I lose those like 51 subscribers, I will go back to 999 and lose all of the monetization for the previous videos coming up, or the videos that are being monetized as of that moment if I was monetizing, and I would not earn a cent. So YouTube would get all the cash to themselves and I would get nothing out of it. So I'd rather try to reach maybe close to like 2,000 subscribers if possible, and bring more interesting content to the channel first to prove myself that ads are worthy of being on the channel and bearable. But anyways, other than that, I'm all done here. Thank you very much for watching this video and this how-to tutorial. Until the next video, I'll see you guys soon. Peace out for now.